Welcome to Sabbath Session Podcast. This is one of our Sheffield series episode number, I can't remember, I think it's number 5. We were just talking about Austin scoring 305 for 4 and got me everything, literally, like I forgot everything I wanted to say today. So, Espen, you helped me out with some of the questions because
Yeah, I mean,
Austin's
also
ruined there.
to all of our listeners as well, if Jurins seems a little bit down and if he seems a little bit weird today, it's because I think we all know why. Ade just annihilated his record and just pretty much turned into the beast of the 83s. So if Jurins is a little bit quiet, guys, that's probably why. So apologies for that. And yeah, as for me, I want to actually talk a little bit more on this episode because for those that listened to our last episode, we had Ross on. So Perks, I don't know if you heard, right?
I listened to it.
Let me tell you what happened, right? Let me tell you what happened. So this episode, I was so excited to have him on the podcast. So excited. Because obviously I've been a huge fan of him since day one, right? And I told Jurins, I was like, oh, bro, I can't believe we're going to finally have Ross on the episode. So what Jurins decided to do was he decided to book it at 11 p.m., 11:30 night, right? I've been up since 4 in the morning because I normally start work at 4 a.m. I fell asleep on the podcast. If you watch the YouTube video, halfway through, I fell asleep. My eyes were closed. I think I said one sentence that whole episode. It was 3 hours long. I said one sentence and that was it. It was the most depressing 3 hours of my life because it was so exciting, but then it was so depressing all in one. It's so bad. So anyways, this episode, I'm going to be talking a lot more. So
okay, good.
I love the run there because you just like saved yourself because I was
so excited for that episode. Even you knew Jurins. You was like, I told Jurins, I was like, bro, I'm so excited for this. And then I said one fucking sentence.
And then the funny thing is, like, you're so excited about Russ's episode, but you're not excited about the episode when you're bringing the best power lifter that ever lived.
Oh no! I am very excited.
No, but I've been on the podcast before though, so we've been on here before, but
True.
with Russ, Russ hasn't been on there, so I would be more excited if I hadn't had anybody.
No, I'm excited now. Don't get me wrong. I'm very excited, especially with what you're going to be doing at Sheffield. I think everyone's been waiting for that. So.
Look, listen, I'm not doing anything at Sheffield. I'm not doing anything at Sheffield. Man, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Bro, 850 is the highest I'm going. 850 is the highest I'm going.
Shut up. We all know probably as people are saying you will be the first 74 that I'm going to be totaling 900. You better do total 900. Otherwise, you're not coming out of Sheffield. So anyway, going on there, Austin, of course, let's draw back a little bit because this is one of those Sheffield series. You've watched Sheffield, the first one, the second one at home, of course, because at that time you were still on the dark side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're on the good side. The first question I'll ask you, what are your expectations in terms of we're not talking about numbers, what you're going to do, but the competition itself. What are you expecting to see when you turn up at Sheffield next year?
To be honest, I think I'm excited for. I know a lot of people don't like big competitions. Like usually they get like shaken up. I remember you talked about someone who said they didn't like. Was it Ajad? She said she didn't like all the excitement or something. Yeah, like I can't wait to walk out for my first squat and just see like the flashlights on the phone. Like I just can't wait to see that because then it's gonna hit me and it's like, oh well, like I'm here now. Like this is it. Like I'll probably be able to hear everything. Going up, like I heard you guys say there's stairs and elevators going up to the stage. I just think that like seeing that everyone's basically watching and having like how many people in a packed stadium is just gonna like shake me, and it's either gonna make me shy away from it or give me an extra boost. But usually when there's a bigger crowd and I see all the lights, then I'm like I can't feel this in front of everybody because no one just has their flashlight on. Like it's probably them recording everything, and I have this thing where it's like. I can't fail in front of people. I can't let people see me fail. So, like, I'm just excited to get that extra boost. It's probably that adrenaline flow.
So the British guys, anyone from Britain that will come and watch Sheffield, when Austin turned up, please do not make no noise. Just stay dead quiet.
Imagine people quiet, no light, no nothing.
Yeah, no light, nothing. Like he's walking to a funeral.
If it's just dark out there, like listen, like if it's dark, just let it be dark. Then like I'm good with either one or the other. It's either gonna be super adrenaline boost or same adrenaline. Because I'm gonna walk out there and I'll probably I'll stare at the bar, but then I'll see like all the lights and I'll be like, all right, keep the head down.
I I think from someone that's watched Sheffield, Austin, I've been there in that Starn Hall. I kid you no. I don't know how it feels to be on that platform. Me and you will experience that next year. But for someone that's been to this competition, it's something like you've never been before, you've never seen before. Do you know what I mean? I know people talk about MMA, people talk about tennis, people talking about all these big crowd sports, but with Sheffield, because it's powerlifting, everyone in the arena, they're passionate about powerlifting. You know,
Hmm.
pretty much everyone there, they do powerlifting. But some of the
Yeah.
sports, you get people that go in and watch those sports, they don't even practice the sport. But it's
Yeah.
just because their mate is taking them there, or their friend is taking, or they have a fun. But in because what makes it different for us about Sheffield is because all of us there in that room, we do powerlifting. We understand the movement that you're going through on that platform. Not necessarily like world class or elite level, but everyone has squatted, everyone has benched, everyone has deadlifted before. So we
Yeah.
understand this. So it's a different ball game. So literally, like again, I said I think I was listening to KOTR, even Taylor was talking about the fact that Bob saying probably he's not going to be doing it. It's something you just have to do it, mate. You just have to do it. Do you know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
have to do it.
I think he's gonna do it now that I think I listened to a podcast or something. I don't know whose podcast it was, but I'm pretty sure he's just gonna go 120 and
Mhm.
um and just like push it and just go as hard as he can because he wants to be ready for Rondell whenever Rondell comes. Because I just I think it's better just to go and just go 120 than to cut and be 105 and then
Mhm.
and then he's delaying that bulk up to 120 and that's not what he wants. So I
Yeah,
think that's what he
yeah.
said. Don't quote me on it, but I remember him saying that. But I think he's gonna end up going. I hope he ends up going either 105 or 120. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna still do what I got to do. They still look. Everyone pulls after me, so it doesn't matter what anybody else does. I'm gonna just do whatever I can do, and they just have to chase me. That's just
Don't
how it's
say
gonna go.
don't say everyone pull after you. So you're not counting me and Ross. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? You
Well, I
know?
mean, you could be pulling. I hope you're pulling after me.
Oh, that's the plan. If not, then I'm not even coming out of Sheffield. I mean, that's the only what's the word? That's the only option I have. I don't have any other option than to pull after you. If I pull before
Yeah,
you, then I might as well just stay there and never come back to this podcast. To be honest.
hey, look, that's all I'm saying is I already know what's gonna happen. Like I've already played through every scenario in my head.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna pull after me and try to catch what number I hit, and that's fine. Like there's nothing I can do after that. So at that point, there is no like, oh, I could have just pulled harder. Like I'm gonna go all out, give it my 100%, and then if
Mm,
I mean if someone outpulls me, there's someone outpulls me. I mean, there's literally nothing I can do about it. I've just
yeah.
accepted that at that point.
You've been very open in your training, right? Like what Jurins said prior to us starting. Like you post everything. You're very
Yeah, I
like
post.
you
The
don't
only
hide
thing I
behind
haven't
anything, which is
post
cool.
I didn't post my last deadlift from this block.
Oh, care to tell us or
What was it?
It was above 300 kilos.
oh,
Yeah, but
obviously you can rep that. Come on, man.
Austin, Perks, everyone will pull after you. Doesn't matter what you say. Just say it.
Look, all
Okay,
I'll say
okay.
is, look, I put it on there. I put it on there because I put half of it on my YouTube. I didn't put the whole thing. I'll tell you what weight it was. I want you so you won't know what RPE it was, but it was a pause with 330.
You said pause.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. All right.
Charlie.
So what I was trying to get at, right, was that because you're so open in your training, I mean, you obviously know what numbers you're looking to hit at Sheffield, right?
Mhm.
I doubt you're going to tell us what numbers you're looking to do at Sheffield, obviously, for, obvious reasons. But can you just give us a brief little like rundown of what numbers you're kind of looking to do? If that makes sense. Obviously not tell us the numbers, but give us a little
Okay, I'll tell you
teaser.
my last block going into Sheffield, I hit doubles. I don't hit singles.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure the goal is to go somewhere in between 315 to 320 for a double the week before Sheffield, before the week before the meet. So on squat, 315 to 320 for a double. For bench, I just want to consistently bench between 310 and 315. I mean 210 and 215. Sorry, not 210 and 215. That's the goal because that's what around I will probably have to hit to take that record. And then deadlift, I'm just gonna put on whatever I need to put on to hit the like whatever is necessary to get to that as close to no one catching me as possible. Like that's just all I can do. So that's gonna be anywhere between 340 and 340, 360, hopefully
So
between that period.
on doubles with the lowest ballpark, we're looking at 865 doubles. That Jurins. Okay, I've got a proposal for you, Jurins. Should we just not go Sheffield? Me and you can go on holiday. We'll go to like I don't know Magaluf or
But
something or
but
Dubai.
after what I did today, I was looking at it, bro. Trust me, first class. But and Austin again, like I know, of course, Sheffield is. I always said to people, Sheffield is a show. Is not really a competition. Of course, the comp is just it's just for you to compete against some of the best in the world and get a bag and go home and enjoy your life. But it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like also giving the fan what they want and what they came for. Because sometimes as the lifters, people always say, yeah, just be a little bit conservative, be careful how your number selection that is Sheffield. But yeah, but don't forget, these people have paid, money on for the ticket. We can't just go there and be old conservative Austin or conservative Jurins. We need to take risks. That's probably
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sheffield will be the first comp for me as a lifter personally that I'm gonna take risk, massive
yeah.
risks. The one that I probably never ever would ever done in my life. So is that the mindset for yourself going to Sheffield, or is it just like I'm confident with my numbers, I don't need to take risk, I'll hit my numbers?
I mean, I guess it's somewhere in the middle. I would say because like I'm gonna push it more than I have pushed in a while. I feel like my last meet that I've ever just went all out probably was when I totaled 800 for the first time, which was back in 2020. So 2020 was the last time I actually pushed it. Every meet after that, I don't talk about it because I don't make excuses. But the meet that Taylor hit 838 and a half, I was injured. So I really didn't get to push it a lot. I didn't even hit the same squat I hit whenever I hit 800. And then my deadlift, I failed too. I don't think I pulled over 700 that meet because I didn't need to. I was just trying to play second and make sure I solidified second on that one. And then every competition since then, I didn't have to go all out. I will say when I hit 851, like we had a goal to just break Taylor's record, and then that was really the main goal. And then we just put on whatever deadlift we felt like I had left in the tank, which was still I feel like was less than what I feel like I could have pulled 340 to 345 that day. Probably could have squatted 317 and a half that day. And then I think probably like 202 and a half to 205 I could have benched that day. So I had at least like anywhere between 5 and 15 kilos left in the tank on that one. And after that, there was no point of going hard. I squatted the 318 because I wanted to be the first 74 to squat the 700 at PA Nats. And then at Worlds, it was just to break the record as little as possible, but still win and make sure Shell couldn't catch us. Those were just the goals. So leading up from 2020 to 2024, 2025, I haven't had a meet where it's like I need to push it, I want to push it, let's do it. But this will be the time that I go all out finally and give everyone that RP 10 meet everyone's been waiting for.
But don't you think as well, like, because this is what I was actually thinking about this, right? I mean, like, especially in the position where you are. I know as we said, powerlifting, you never know what might happen on the day. As more
Mm-hmm.
we're sitting here, even I told you on the DMs today, I was like, I think my mindset now is not just about Russ, is about what can I do to win Sheffield. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's not even a joke because that's how I feel. But again, at the same time, you think, okay, if Austin, you win Sheffield, you push it so hard as you're saying, do you think you're probably making it harder for yourself for the meets that comes in the
I
future?
mean,
When
no
I mean
and
meet,
yes.
I'm talking about the exact Sheffield again. I'm not
Oh,
talking about
Sheffield
any other
again.
day.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, no. If that's the case, I just need to. I would either like me and Joe have been talking about it, contemplating it.
Mm,
Um, when we win, or if we win, I'm going to put win first because I don't want to say if. Um, the goal is to either go down or go up. Like, because that'll probably be the easiest to place higher or win would just be able to go up or go down. Unless someone between the next Sheffield and the other Sheffield puts up whatever we plan to put up or close to whatever we put up.
okay.
Um, then like that, but then 66 too. I feel like it would be a hard cut. It would be a terribly hard cut to go 66. But if I dieted right and just made that super cut, I think I could still put up like I feel like if I went 66, I probably could hit 800. To be
Yeah.
honest, I feel like
I
that's
think
there.
get yourself a Kedrick on your team and you'll be fine because he's done it with Evie.
Yeah, I have a,
You know,
I don't have a nutritionist as well, so it's
so
just me like dieting. Like Joe gives me like here hit this caloric goal. I think it's like 2100 a day, and then that'll have me around 75 to 76, and then we half gut cut, half water load the rest of it, and then it's fine. Because usually it's just contents in my stomach, and then I usually sit around 74, but now since the married life and we moved in and all these holidays in the US, I've been getting a little bit higher than 76 now. Because I mean, I'm not keeping to the diet.
so since you mentioned there like probably going up and down in terms of like wherever you pushed it. So which is like it makes sense. You go up
Yeah.
if the total up is not as big as probably you guys are expecting it, then it gives you a chance to win in the next Sheffield. Since you're talking about going up, I'm just gonna ask you, when are you planning to start a family?
I got we have to wait till my wife is still in she's still in college, so she still has 2 more years, and we're not starting a family till after two more
Damn
years. So
it.
They're
you
still
guys,
young, Jurins,
Damn
man.
it.
They're still young.
Fuck's
yeah, we're like
sake.
I'm only 25, and then she's only she'll be 22 this year.
Oh, fuck's
So
sake.
Yeah,
Damn
man.
it.
yeah,
You're still young. Oh my god, I still got a long time to go. But anyway, talking about it, I mean, let me bring you back a little bit to or to the World Championship because we're not gonna do a recap, but I just want to get a little bit of your opinion in terms of what happened and how you perceive it. Because you guys was in USAPL, of course you came to World. Before coming to World, you already knew. I heard about people talking about the likes of Gavin saying words feels like people lifting and you are behind a pub or something, right?
hmm
So, what was your experience of World yourself? How did you perceive it all the time that you were there with the missus?
I just when it comes to competing, I feel like it was just like a regular competition. Like nothing too super special about it. I feel like if you're when you get to our level, I think it's to that point where you have to lift the standard. So I think it should be a surprise whenever you get to the day and it's like, oh wait, I didn't lift the standard. Like that should be a surprise. It shouldn't be something you're worried about. So I would say when it comes to that part, it was just like any other meet. Wasn't too hard as long as you're hitting depth. I feel like that's probably the biggest thing for everyone. As long as you're hitting depth, you're fine. Everything else is like you should be good on. When it comes to like the environment with the people, I did like it. It was a lot more communicative. I feel like because it's probably smaller, instead of like USAPL, there's so many people there, and it's just like you probably don't remember who you talk to because there's so many people there because there's so many people from different places. And I think usually USAPL Nats is like 900 to 1,000 lifters plus like people who come and spectate.
Yeah.
But then IPF Worlds is a lot smaller than that. So I don't even know what the count is. Probably like around like I don't even know, like maybe 500 lifters. How
No,
many lifters do you think?
no, I
Less
think
than
Probably
that?
less. Probably
like
Yeah.
less.
200 and something, 250 or something like that.
Yeah, so like and then you have interactions with people like either in the USAPL, like you'll probably see people at other meets too sometimes. Like, oh, like someone did a meet in Texas, so you'll see them there too. But at Worlds, I feel like you probably cherish the times you see people and get to meet people and talk to people in person. Like, I loved sitting by you. I know a lot of people don't know this, but we sat and we watched, I think was it 66s together?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, me and you, we talked literally probably the whole time. We sat by each other, talked the whole time. It was a good chat. I enjoyed that. I probably will never forget moments like that.
yeah.
Just getting to meet and see people that you only get to see probably like once or twice a year rather than like so often. It's just that's a really good feeling, and I appreciate that. I like that, and like my wife too, she loved it. There was no part where she was just like, "Ugh, I hate being here." It was just too much. It was like the right amount of people and the right amount of time spent with people and stuff like that. It was good. And she got to show however she felt about everything.
Yeah,
I would say she was super excited when you were competing. That's all I'll say about it.
I
Super
know she
excited when
was.
you were competing.
I could see that she was proper in that role. Every time I look at the crowd, I can see every single face. So
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. So it was
Yeah,
like she enjoyed watching everything, and I'm glad about that. Usually at USAPL meets is super loud, especially national meets, and we're not really like loud people. We don't like environments like that much. So like we don't go to like concerts or anything like too crazy. If we're at like a pub or something like that, we're like a quiet pub rather than blasting music. So it was good. I like it. I feel like if you have a chance to go to a world and it's like around where you are, I guess in the world, I say you should go, and it's a good time getting to see people and stuff like that.
So in terms of like, of course, after all that experience, the reason, I mean, again, the reason I asked that question is because the expectation of the world championship when it comes, especially when it comes to people like us, we're no surprise what we see a world every time we turn up because we're used to it, you know.
Hmm.
But with you guys from the other side of the river, the Americans, it's different. The experience because you guys got to have to travel, you guys got to have to come around people like us that it's almost like again we're not gonna shy away from this. Every time American come to world is the world against the American. It's always
Yeah.
been like that. You know what I mean? And that's not even like I know people thinking, oh, it's because the conversation about the sweep and or Jesus speech, that's what caused it. I kid you not, for many years it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you're competing against the Americans, it's always the world against the Americans, right?
Yeah.
To the point where if a Chinese win against the American, the whole world goes, yeah. Do you know what I mean? If a French win, the whole world goes like, yeah. And sometimes you feel like, oh, is that everybody don't like? I mean, no,
That's just,
that's
yeah.
what being American is all about. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Do you know what it could be
how did
though?
that affect you though, or what has been said? What do you think that is?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the US is just so big. It can be like all these other countries against the US because probably all of those countries put together, besides, not some of them, but majority of like the people there is just like, okay, you have the US and it's by itself, but then you have every other country. Um, I just think that's probably it. I don't know. Maybe it's because a lot of U.S. lifters are probably full of themselves or show that they're full of themselves to a certain extent. They're more boisterous. They do everything with their chest out. That's probably why. And it's like whenever another country wins, it's like, how we told you. Like, look at you. You talked all that, and now look at you. I feel like that's probably what it is. I know they talked about it on the podcast with Russ. It was just like Russ said he felt everything. Like it felt like everyone was against him and everyone was cheering for you whenever it came to it because that's just how it is. Like you make yourself and you make everyone see yourself as this person that's very confident, that's like wins no matter what, and then you go out here and then it's like you get beat. Of course, the people are going to be like, "Ah, now look at you." That's why I feel like I never go into any competition. If you go back and track everything, I never say I'm going to win. I never say that I'm just going to win. I say I'm going to do my best. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put up this total. I might say I'm better, but I'm never say I'm going to win though. I'm never going to say, because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, you never know what can happen on the day. I don't want people to be looking at me and like, look, he said he was going to win. Nope. If you go back in Sheffield, I never said I was going to win Sheffield. I said I was going to put up my best.
I agree with that
It's
though.
true.
I do agree with that. Do you know what it is though? I think Americans Americans are just so confident, right? Like super
Mm-hmm.
confident, like very, very fucking confident. That here in the UK, it can come across as arrogant, but it's
Yep.
not that. You guys, that's just how Americans are. It's very different. Whereas if people here in the UK were to act that way, we would be fucked over here, man. They'll be like,
It's the culture, isn't it? You know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
that's
It's
what it
not,
is, man.
Yeah.
and the
That's
thing
what
is,
it
like,
is.
it pains me when a few Americans feel like the whole world hate them. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even when what Russ was saying, like, oh, I felt like everyone was against me. No, everyone are not against you. It's just that's what happened when you are an American. That's being
Mm-hmm.
American. They don't
Yep.
hate you. It just almost like you have to embrace that because that's your culture. That's who you are. It's like
Mm-hmm.
me, like it's been said. I can't go on a podcast and say, look, last leading to Malta, I did a podcast. I said once I was the strongest 83 in the world. Mate, people almost fucking burned me. They almost like things set me alight. When I said that,
Yep.
do you know what I mean? How can you say that? Look at this person, look at that person. I went to Malta and I did a shit show like I did. And even the Americans start telling me that I don't know what powerlifting is all about. You know what I mean? I don't understand the notion of powerlifting. You know?
Mm.
And I was just like, what do you mean? I've been in the game for 8 years. I can squat more than you regardless. Anyway, how are you trying shit about me like that? But anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long story. But all I'm saying is like, that's being American. Arrogance is not arrogance. It's just a culture side thing.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, of course, you saw what happened in the world, and regardless of what happened in terms of the street being broken, but still, you guys walked away with the best male lifter, and yourself, you were the best lifter, right?
Yeah.
So, over the years, that best lifter trophy has been won by American for so many times. Taylor's done
Yeah.
it many, many, many times. Ray William in the past has done it when we had Wilkes and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that legacy for you guys, is this something that you always work to maintain, or is it something, as you said, I'm just gonna try my best. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
focus on it.
Yeah, that wasn't even like a main goal. Like that wasn't even like whenever Matt, Gary, and Joe had a call, and we only had like two goals. And it was to win first and then to break the world record by as little as possible. Those were the only two goals. When it comes to like getting best lifter, that's just something that happens. Like we're just like, oh, it probably could happen if you hit this total. Like me and Joe would talk about it. And I even on the call with Matt Gary, it was just like that. And I was just like, I mean, okay, it really doesn't really matter to me because I know a lot of people don't care about IPF points or dots like that. It's just all over weight, and it really doesn't matter. Like I was just like, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I just know when it came to Shell and Bob, they were talking about who was gonna get like closest to best lifter.
Mhm.
And then that's just how it went. Like I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, because I know the people say that the IPF formula favors like 74s or something like that, but I just feel like if you put up any if you use any formula, it's just gonna total
Yeah,
someone who has like pound for pound is just gonna be good, man. Like that's just how it is. Like the only one that I don't have, I think, is Wilkes, and that's
yeah,
based off Jesus. And then Jesus is
yeah,
the only person above me as well. So
yeah.
it's
We
not
know that.
like
I actually checked it yesterday. I was like, that's insane, but that is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's like I mean, like all the other weight classes are like really good too. Like you have Rondell, you got Bob, Ashton, but when it comes down to it, still like I'm still ahead of them. Those guys are super strong, not taking anything away from them. All of them crazy strong, but it's just like I just feel like once you see that any formula revolves around one person, like Taylor had all formulas at one point. Like I don't think it's like biased towards a weight class anymore. I think it just shows how strong these individuals are.
I mean, talking about, I mean, Taylor, there is a very good segue because there's a lot going on in powerlifting right now, right? We see the wave of the 83 around the world. You know, the 93 they had the course that's hopefully I hope and I believe is dying. You know, if any 93 got something to say about it, come and talk to me. The 74s, really, there's nothing there to be honest in the 74 because they have got you because that's a fact because they have got Austin Perkins. It makes the weight class really almost borderline boring because no one can
Yeah.
catch Austin Perkins. Do you know what I mean? I know Taylor was talking about it on the KTO, say, "Oh, I think the 74 is still there." No, my friend, the 74 is there. No, it's not there. You know, it's not exciting
Yeah.
because Austin is just too far ahead. On your opinion, right? If we talk about the hottest division or the hottest weight class in IPF at the moment, what do you think that class is?
As of right now, I guess I would say it's the 83s right now, man. Like it's just so many people who are putting up like the record before Worlds, before you won was it 840? Was it something
40,
around there?
42 and a half. Yeah.
842 and a half. And then so many people have matched that, well, went above it, slash matched it, and then just went over like 860, 865 multiple times. When it comes to the 93s, I think like that's probably second when it comes to it. But they've all just been floating around that 890 to 900 range. You know, it's always been like around 10 kilos, and like they have been they're the most competitive.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like 83s, I feel like they're competitive and they're increasing the total at an exponential rate. Like
Yeah.
that's just how it is. And I feel like that's probably the weight class to watch right now, just because you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to put up what. I will say that with the people who have put up the 860 pluses, it's always been when they've been by themselves. You know, like when it
I think
comes
you
to
you spoke
you're
about
the
it. You
yeah,
spoke
you're the
about
only
it.
person that went above the world record that had direct competition, and I believe in direct competition. Like I might say that 851 is my best meet, but like I really don't. There's like really nothing about it. Like me and Shell, I had to go out there and I had to actually try. I could have failed, and he could have easily came up and got me. Okay, I wouldn't say easily, but he could have came up and got me. Um,
Is that
but when
is
it,
that is that an indirect message to Ade then about Jurins or?
I mean, I just feel
But
like I'm not saying that I'm not saying he can't do it with anyone else around. I'm just saying it's harder to do it when you have someone else to worry about. And that's always how
Now,
it's been.
of course, I'm on you,
Like
Messi.
it's yeah. That's always how it's been. I just feel like, okay, well, you can go out here and hit this big number, and that shows that you are capable of hitting that number. Yes, you're 100% capable of hitting it. But when it comes down to, oh dang, should I actually push this squat? Because if I miss this squat, then this person is going to be closer on this other lift. Then what are we talking about then? Like you can. It's easy to go out there and just put in a number and be like, oh, okay, let's hit it because no one's there. But when someone's there, that extra thought is going to be at least in your coach's head. Might not be in your head. You might think you're capable of going 340 instead of 330. But your coach is going to be like, all right, let's play it safe and just go 325. Let's just play it. Let's just take away them like those 5 kilos just to be sure. And those are just things you have to worry about when it comes to competition. But do I think those people that hit that 860 are capable of it? 100%. I'm not taking that away from you. It's just different when you're in direct competition.
100%.
I think is this. I mean, the reality is like they showcase the strength to hit even more into these competitions. But the reality, what you said there, like when you have that direct competition, you think different. Even like as an athlete as well, when they load that weight on the bar, you have that thought in your mind, even though you know you can hit it, but you know like, oh shit, if I miss, that's a 10 kilos gone. That's a 15 kilos gone. Do you know what I mean? That's something people don't realize. As much as that we are confident in what we do on the platform, at the end of the day, I don't know about you, Austin, but at the end of the day, me, I'm just a human being. When I'm going up against Rush, don't ever think I'm not thinking about him every time I'm taking an attempt. I am thinking about him. In my head, I'm probably thinking he's taking 10, 20 kilos more than me. You know what I mean? Because that's how you go. So yeah, again, me personally, I salute these performances. I see, like, of course, Joey B and added today that A61. These are incredible numbers. And again, if you ask me, can they hit those numbers if they go up against all of you guys? You don't know what might happen. Do you know what I mean? I might not be able to hit that number, or I might even be able to hit more, or me just being there, they might even push for more.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I agree what you said there. Like these performances are incredible. But again, like in terms of the 74 your weight class, Austin, where do you think the future of the 74 is going? Because at the moment when I look at the 74s is yes, Tim is going to 83s, right? Carly's gone to 83. So now you and Shell, and Shell, there's a talk of potentially Shell going to 83. That's the talk I've been hearing around. So if you think about it, you're the only dominant 74 that is left. Would you stick around?
I mean, I don't know, man. It depends on other things. Not even like I want to build a legacy in a sport, and it would be good to be like, hey, let's like get as many world titles as Taylor has. Um, but then it would be good to try and get multiple worlds in different weight classes. I feel like that sets me apart as another way. Um, to be honest, I don't know. I don't think there's a point in like I'm not a heavy. I don't walk around at a heavier weight either. It would probably be kind of hard. Not kind of hard because I could just eat and then go weigh 83. But I don't know, man. It's just there's no reason for me to go up. It would suck that I won't have like that direct competition, I guess. But like there is that kid that's a sub junior that's really good.
Is
He
it what's his
totaled.
name? Is it Elio?
It's Elliot Sykes. I'm pretty sure his
Yeah.
name Elliot
Yeah,
Sykes.
770, isn't it?
Yeah, 766.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Crazy numbers.
But that's really good. He's like 18, I think. I see him probably going up within the next 2 years, so he might be around for a year, but like a year or two. But I still don't see him getting like past 850 in 2 years. He probably could hit like well above 800, and I would have to like go to nationals and actually try unless like we go to the Sheffield thing and I just hit total after total after total and just put it up. But um, yeah, man, I just see him probably coming up and him being crazy good. But you never know. Like there could be someone that comes out of nowhere.
I mean, it's
And
powerlifting. It's
That's
yeah,
the beauty of
exactly.
powerlifting, right?
you know what I mean? It's easy introduction to the sport. But the only reason I ask this question is because I heard the likes of Taylor. Because the thing is, like, when you look at what Taylor Howard has done in the 74s, if you ask me, should a Taylor move up a bit earlier? Probably should have moved up a bit earlier,
Yeah, I think he
especially
said that though too. Yeah.
yeah. When you think about, I mean, again, Taylor and me, we're pretty much in the same age and we've got the same
Mhm.
lifestyle, kids and family. I think sometime when you get to an age, it's just like life is just easy for you to be free. Me,
Mhm.
if I was a person that can easily put on weight like other people do, I would happily move 93 long time ago. But
Yeah.
I'm just like you in the same boat where I just don't get that boost of body weight. So, but in terms of like yourself as well, do you see people like that, like Taylor? Do they probably make you think, oh, maybe it's about time for me to go up and not hold on here for longer?
Yeah, whenever I feel like I get that family aspect in it, and it's like I don't feel like cutting. There's no point in doing this cut thing, and then it's like because I just think whenever I do want to move up, it'll be to that point where it's like I don't feel like doing the extra stuff and cutting, and I'll just eat whatever I want, and I'll show up at like 78, 79, 80 kilos, and just do whatever needs to be done at that point. I feel like when it comes down to it, after you've won Sheffield, I feel like it gets to that point where you just do it, just try to break individual records at this point,
Yeah.
or just try and just go to a meet that you're gonna have fun at. Honestly, at that point, but yeah, I just see that's what like whenever I'm to that point where it's just I want to go in, I don't feel like cutting it all or doing like a good cut or water load, which I'm like 3 water loads away from just saying forget about it because I'm tired of drinking all this water, bro. Like I just hate it. I feel like I'm a drown, man. Um, but yeah, I just feel like it's just like you said, you get older, you get to that point where I just want to lift, I want to have fun, I want to spend time with my family, and then that's really it.
Yeah.
I will say that I have hit that point before where I'm just like, do I want to just keep doing this? But then it's like I see progress and I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely want to keep doing it. But I think that's what everyone does. It just brings you back to it. You know, you fall out of love with it for a while, then you fall back in love with it. That's all
Also,
it is.
also, what people fail to understand as well is that Perks, you've done nearly 30 meets, 30 competitions. So even though you're 24, you've been in the game for a very long time, man. Very, very long time.
Yeah.
So people that are just like just getting into the sport, they'll see you, they'll see, oh, he's 24, he's young, he's still fairly new into the sport. You're really not. You're like a veteran at your age, which is
I mean,
wild.
in powerlifting age, Perks is older than me, even though I'm
Yeah,
10
bro.
years older than Perks.
I'm
It's
tired, man. When I say I'm tired, bro, my like I would like someone asked me, the one of the guys that works at Alico, because I train at Alico headquarters in the US, he was like do you ever just like get tired? And I was like, dude, I think I've been in the gym almost every 4 to 5 days a week. Because at first I used to only lift 4 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week. I've been doing that since I was 17 years old. So 4 to 5 days out of my week, I've been in the gym for at least 2 hours, 3 hours. I'll give it 3 hours, at least 2 to 3 hours. You know, I've been in the gym every single day except for 2 days out of the week. Like, and even before that, I was doing like football or like soccer or track. Like I've been doing so. There's been no period except for when I had my hernia surgery, and that was like probably for 2 or 3 months where 2 months I was out of the gym completely. The third month I was like doing like dumbbell stuff, but 2 months in the past 7 years that I've been in the gym every day,
and what is it
basically
that
every day, man.
and what is it that keeps you going though? Like, because obviously your training, it leads me to what I was going to ask you next. Actually, like your latest post on Instagram is probably one of the rudest, most disgusting posts I've seen in a while. Right, Jurins, like we both just spoke about it as well on WhatsApp. 839, okay, 839 total, 305 kilos squat for 4 reps. And this is when I know Perks was human, right? Was when he actually struggled on that bench. I was like, you know what? He's human. That I think that's the
I
first
know.
time.
I literally
It's a
said to
world
myself,
record. It's a world
I
record.
literally
But
said,
for you, I don't care. I don't care what it is. The
I
fact
literally
that Perks
said,
struggled,
I literally said to myself, he can bleed. Thank God.
yeah, he's human. He's not AI. He's not a robot. Thank God for that. And then a 320 deadlift, which pretty much moved like just the last warm up behind like backstage. like, do you surprise yourself with these numbers? Because it's almost like every single month. Because in our group chat, right, we always like talk about like the biggest names out there and stuff, and your name always pops up, right? We always talk about like your lifts and stuff. And I feel like every month or 2 months, you just come up with a new fucking number where we're like, what is going on? What's happening in this training? Like, what do you surprise yourself, Perks? Like during training when you're like, shit, what the fuck is going on in my training? Like, can I get stronger? What's going on?
All right, so I'll start with this. Guys should hate my wife. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Because without her, I would be like, she just brought me some berries, by the way. She literally just dropped these off right here.
Baby, where's my berries?
Baby, where's my berries?
See, I got a wife and she's just in bed. She didn't bring me no berries, bro.
My baby's watching bloody, what you call it, The Only Way is Essex, bro.
It's a good season for that.
So when it comes down to it, I will say, so weeks, this is how my training goes. I had 5-week blocks. Weeks 1 to 2, I hate it. It's the worst weeks ever because it's after week 5. I feel like crap. And so I have to go in. It's kind of like my half deload, half week 1. Weeks 1 to 2, I always tell her, I was like, I hate this. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. It never changes from block to block. This is how week 1 to 2 go. It's terrible. Week 3, I'm like, I start to feel good, and I'm like, all right, we're back finally. Like, you can even check on my post. Most of the time, I'll say like, oh, we're back. Okay, we're feeling good finally. And it's always with squat, and then sometimes a little bit with deadlift, but mainly with squat. Get to week 3, I'm like, all right, I'm feeling good. Certain things ramping up. Week 4 is just a week for me to basically gain confidence and be like, oh, okay, I'm still strong and I can do this. And then this whole time from weeks 1 to 3, I'm probably down to get my head every day. Every primary squad day, I'm like, can I do this? Like, because sometimes Joe will have all of my blocks filled out. Lately, he has since nationals. Usually, before that, he would do like 1 week at a time, and I would be like, okay. But then he's been putting him in. I'll go and check what he has me hitting. So week 1, I see he's like 305 for 4. I'm like, whenever I totaled 850, I only hit 305 for a double, right? Like that was the hardest I went. So in my head, I'm like, oh, like, all right. I mean, he says I can do it, so I guess we'll try. But I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. And that's basically how every block goes from week to week. I mean, from block to block to block to block. It's just like I have that self doubt. My wife reassures me. She's like, "You got this." There hasn't been a point except for once where I failed my week 5. And it was because of certain circumstances of switching gyms last minute. It's something that always messes with me because it's like, especially when it's summertime and it's Texas. I don't know if I showed people that, but I failed my last double before I went to Worlds. I think I said that on the King of the List podcast. I failed 310 for a double, and it was because I wasn't training at Alico that day. I just went to this gym that didn't have AC. Barely. I think my client was there spotted was lifting with me. He came from a different state, so I had an outside factor in, plus a different gym. There was hot and it was 100 degrees in a warehouse with the bay doors closed. Jesus. And then that's like, yeah, like that's hard to get through mentally. Like you're just like all these different things going on. But yeah, man, it's just like I do doubt myself every week 5, but then week 4 is like, okay, like that moved pretty good. I'm like, all right, next week we should make it. It should be able to move just about the same, or the 4th rep might be a little hard. But usually my week 4 and my week 5 are pretty close within RPEs, like maybe a half RPE heavier. So yeah, man, that's just how it goes, man. I doubt myself every once in a while, but then whenever it comes down to it, I always get it. And that's what she always tells me. She's like, I don't know why you go through this every block. Like you don't do good at the end of the block. And it's just in my mind, I just can't. It's just hard.
I don't know whether that's because in the level where we are, some people might call me a twat, but doubting yourself when you come to some of the blocks, I think that's common when you're in this level, because there is certain numbers they put on your block. You literally look at those numbers thinking, at the end of the day, it's just me. How the fuck am I supposed to do this? Do you know what I mean? But it turned up that you smash it and then you realize how strong you are. But as you said, because I'm in exactly the same position as you, like my blocks with Christian goes 4 weeks. The first 2 weeks, Christian knows, the first 2 weeks I always literally like, I feel like firing him in the first 2 weeks. You know, the third week I'll be like, I'll finish my day 4, I'll be like, Christian, I think we are annihilating anyone we're gonna put in front of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of that day four. But again, like I would just say this to anyone who's listening to us, or young lifters are listening to us out there. If you're doubting yourself when it comes to training or blocks, it's common among
Mm-hmm.
everybody, even top class lifters. Because there's some people out there, I kid you not, Perks, there's a lot of people out there who go on social media, they talk so much waffles about how confident they are every single training session, every single
Yeah.
block. That's full of shit. Do you know what I mean? I really will sit here and say, if someone have got that much confidence all the time, that means they're not pushing enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because it's some of the numbers you look at, like, for instance, like Christian, this prep, he wrote some bench numbers for me. I was just looking at him thinking, like, huh? This man is forgetting I got an elbow issues. And I started bringing all my age. I started bringing the fact that I train alone.
Every external.
All the external. Because you're just
Yeah.
looking at the numbers thinking, oh, fuck. But I think that's the same perspective in terms of yourself as well. To me, again, I'll follow up what Espin said there. Is like, with you, the difference is, Perks, is you always show us almost like that different persona. You evolve
Mm-hmm.
every single end of the block. You know what I mean? It's not just because you're hitting higher numbers, but the way you're doing them is a way that has never been done before. So my question leading to that would be like, is there anything prior to that that you normally do for that change? Not just because we all can have a program. We
Yeah.
all can have squat. We
Yeah,
can all bench. We can all deadlift. You just make them look different. How?
let me get a pen
I
one
think.
second. Wait. It's fine.
All right. So first up, anime. All right. No, JK. So I will say that I've just now figured this out the past like probably 2 blocks. I will say I think me and Russ probably agree upon this. There's like this flow state that you hit, right? I think we all have this. It's just hard to channel it. I compare it to I feel like if you haven't seen this show, go watch it. Best show ever. Avatar: The Last Airbender. That right. That's exactly how it is. You know how he always goes into the Avatar state, but it's never like when he
Yeah.
wants to at first. It's never how he wants to. That's how I feel like it is. I mean, that's the best comparison. So I'll go and like the only time I felt like I've ever felt the flow state completely is probably on week fives. That's majority how it happens, and then when I hit 851, and then when I squatted 318. Those are the times that I've noticed that I've actually been in it. Um, there's one time recently where my wife asked me whenever we were training, she was like, "Are you?" It was whenever I hit 285 for 5, so like a block ago. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I was sitting down, like I had my headphones in, I was listening to music because I certain music, certain songs get me in that mode, and I got to that point where I was just like I was crying because I was like I felt like all the adrenaline flowing through me, and that's what helped me hit that set. Um, I didn't even ask her for a spot. Like that's how much I was in the zone. And she even told me, she was like, you have to like talk to me and tell me like when you need a spot because like you just get into this. She's like it's like you're a different person. And I will say I think weeks 1 through 3 or 4 sometimes I'm just Austin, and then that week 5 and whenever I'm competing I'm Perk. There are two different. There's two different sides of it. So yeah, I just think you have to just literally don't force anything. Let your body just do what it knows how to do, especially when you get to the point where you've been lifting for so many years. Like you've been lifting for 5 years plus. At this point, if you haven't changed your form that much, your form should be about the same. You should know your body. Let your body do what it knows how to do. That's the biggest thing instead of just forcing it. Because I feel like that's my problem probably weeks 1 to week 3. I'm just thinking about, okay, I need to hit that depth. Okay, let me make sure my walkout's right. Let me make sure my foot placement is good. And then whenever it comes to that week 5, it's like, oh, well, I'm here. There's nothing more I can do about it. There's no point in trying to focus on like what form is what and how I need to sit here. Just freaking set your feet, do what you need to do, and just do it. And then that's what gets me in that state. I'm just like, all right, I'm feeling good.
And the one thing as well, me, I always believe is, I mean, again, me because I train alone, I always say to myself, when you get to that heavy weight, I always say, if I can't do it, I would not load it. But if
Yep.
I load that weight on the bar and I get a collar in the clipping, no matter what happened, I'll go under the bar, I will score that shit. You know what I mean?
I will say I agree with that because people always get on me on my comments. They're like, oh, like your wife's back there spotting you and she's the only one back there spotting you. What are you gonna do? She knows and I know I wouldn't put anything on that bar that I know she couldn't either help me with or that I'm gonna get 100%. When it comes to that week, on that week 5, what did you see? Spotters. Because I
Yeah.
was like, I feel like I got this, but you never know, and I'm gonna put you back there. But other than that, usually I'm like, I know I got this no matter what. I'm never gonna dump the bar. I've never dumped the bar before. I always stand underneath the bar, and I know she can get underneath and just help me when it gets to that point. We can just put it on the bench safeties, whatever you want to call it. But no, yeah, man. It's like I know I'm not gonna put anything on the bar that I know I'm not gonna get, and if I know I might not get it, if I have that single doubt in my head, I'm like, all right, let me just make sure I get spotters.
Yeah.
And that's just all it is. Like at that point, like you just know whenever you're gonna get something or not by that last warm up. That's what I feel like. That's how invested and how long we've been doing it.
Yeah. And I think one thing Indy was said here, it says here is when this if the spotters are available, no matter where you are, no matter how strong you are, get spotters. Do you know what I mean? Get spotters because you just don't know what might happen. Some of us turn from home. Yes, sometimes I do get DMs, people saying, "How the fuck do you do it? Do you what? Do you blurry your spotters?" I don't know. I don't have no spotters. When I load 300 or I load 290 or whatever I'm doing for triples or doubles or whatever, my missus sometimes is at the door. I literally tell her, "You can't spot me on this one." You know what I mean? Because if anything goes wrong, you're gonna get hurt more than me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So she just at the door there with you American will call it what American will say like is it 911? With S here we call it 999. She's just ready to dial in if anything goes wrong. Do you know what I mean? At least I don't die alone. Somebody's there.
The
watching.
difference is though, we get it for free, so they'll come.
Oh
without
yeah,
paying
right.
anything. So that's the benefits.
No, yeah. I just think when it comes down to it, like she knows I like there's nothing I would let happen to her. Like I would tell her to move something, but she is there just in case. Like literally last resort. One, two, it's me either telling her to move, me just being like, all right, I have to get up to the point where I can just put it in the bench safeties, or that's really it. Like I'm never gonna put her in danger.
Yeah.
Never gonna put her in danger.
Also, she's Hispanic, right?
Yeah, she is Hispanic.
Yeah, so
She's Mexican.
so if you do fuck up, you're in trouble, boy.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, you're in trouble. My wife's Colombian, so I understand. Trust me.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's the real reason Austin won't put any danger because he knows.
I mean, you forget powerlifting, bro. That it ever existed again.
Yeah. Game over.
Yeah, Austin, because I know we're leading to Sheffield. I know we spoke about certain numbers. We spoke about how training is going. It's not just Sheffield. There's a World coming next year after Sheffield, and there is a World Games. So what's the plan for you for a world? Is he, of course, another world title as a 74, or is he going to do at 83? Because at the World Games, I know you spoke about potentially just, okay, I'm not going to say you're moving up to 83, but you're not going to bother cutting. If you end up in China, you're 74, you lift as a 74. If you end up you're 75, you lift as 75. Probably that's what you said that I heard, I heard it wrong. Is that the plan?
No, yeah. For World Games, yeah, it's just like it's off of IPF points, not off of weight class. So there's no point in me just trying to cut to make it in a weight class. The goal is just to out IPF points everyone else. Like that's just it. It's either, and I really don't even know, man. To be honest, this is one thing I struggle with, and I try not to think about. I just try to put Sheffield in my head and go one at a time because I like me and my wife are stressed about it because it's like, do we go to Worlds and like we go all out and then like a month later, right? Basically like a month and a half later, you
Like
have World Games.
6
Like
weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, yeah.
like what do you do? Do you go all out for Worlds and then I'm gonna feel like crap half of the block and then there's probably gonna be no progress. I don't expect anyone unless they like miss lifts at Worlds, but I don't see any progress for anyone who goes from Worlds to World Games. Like there's just such a short amount of time. There's no way you build enough strength for anything to PR by 15, 20 kilos. Like I think it is going to be on, like 6 weeks, bro. 6 weeks, you're not doing that. Like it's impossible. It has to be based off of if you miss lifts at Worlds, and then it's like, okay, well now I made him at this meet. That's the only way you're going to see a 10 to 15 kilo boost in 6 weeks. I just don't know if I don't know if we skip Worlds and we just go World Games and just try to go all out then, But then if you do that, then you don't get a Sheffield invite for 2026, or you just have to bank on you getting that wild card spot with how they doing world wild card spots now. I don't even know if I want to take a chance on that. Like yeah.
I
So
think
it's whatever I feel like after after Sheffield and everything like that. I guess because I still don't know if I have to go to. It depends on how I do at Sheffield. I don't know if I have to go and do American Act.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. I actually
Yeah.
forget about that for you. But to be fair, like, as well, like if touch wood, nothing is gonna happen. Everything goes to plan. Of course, you hit it hard at Sheffield. If if potentially you manage to beat me and win Sheffield,
Mm-hmm.
I know when people listen to this, they'll be like, "Who's this? What is this 35-year-old man talking about? What the fuck?" Anyway, anyway, if you I mean, if you win Sheffield, of course, that put you in the very driving seat to get an American team go to World. But again, when I look at the world roster here in the 74s, this is what I was saying earlier. I know people will hate this, but I mean, Austin, you're up there, especially now, like with you hearing like Shell might be moving up. Then I don't see why you going to World and pushing. I don't see why you should be pushing.
That's true too. But also, I'm not gonna say that. Me and you will speak about that after because I don't even know if I can talk about it because it's
Yeah,
sponsor stuff. It's
yeah,
not. It's not. Yeah. What's I'm not trying to get. I'm trying to keep my contract. I'm not gonna
yeah.
say nothing.
Let's keep contracts, mate. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it after I finish the recording. but but the thing is, like again, we know the Sheffield is 95%. Do you know what I mean? You can turn up a
Yeah.
world and hit your 95%, and then you do your world games in 6, 7, or 8 weeks time as a whatever you're gonna do.
Hold on. Let me see what 95% of what I'm trying to hit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
But that problem might be like a problem right there.
What could be 900?
you said 95%, right?
Yeah, yeah.
God. Um, hold on. Hold on.
I know, don't say
Uh,
it. Don't say it. Let people think about it.
um,
So that's basically what Austin has just looked today. It's the exact same total award today. That's a 95% it's gonna be next year. But again, right, that's just insane that it need to be done at what the reason I'm saying that because you mentioned about legacy here, right? Another world
mhm.
title. Because skipping world, you missing that world title. Doing the world games, yes, you win the world games, but you're gonna people this is what I mean, I'm gonna really gonna be like respectfully, I'm gonna be kind talking about this. You win one world title in your career, you finish, you're not going to be in that bracket as the best
Yeah,
powerlifter that ever lived. You're not.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you win two, three world title, and then you're in that bracket. Do you know what I mean? And
Okay. Look,
sometimes
listen. Look, listen. How about this? You and Russ or Joe Bornstein and what's the guy who lifted today? Is his
I
name
did.
Addy?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all just all don't show up and let me go 83. Just that 1 year. Just this 1 year. And then y'all can just come back. You can just come back. Let me just get two in different weight classes, and then we'll be good. Like everybody be happy. Look, you
So
got your worlds already. Look.
so
You
how
did
about
that.
how
Russ got
about we
his
make
worlds already.
how about we make a deal? At Sheffield, you don't pull your last deadlift.
He'll just
And
put
then I
it.
was
He'll just
and
put
then I
it for a
was
second. He'll
I
just put
know,
it a
fuck's
second.
sake. You do a pan on me. That's what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, like all these things that we're talking about, again, it just shows how exciting and very good and powerlifting is getting. Do you know what I mean? Because we
Mhm.
wouldn't be sitting here a few years ago talking about, oh, these records are going to be high or this number is going to be high, so I almost have to, I mean, especially you almost have to be, every time you turn up to a meeting like World, now you have to be careful about your number selections
Mhm.
because you're just thinking that if I hit so hard, that is like 25, 40,000 pound gone.
Hey, listen. Look, I'm gonna say this. Y'all hate Matt Gary because at first, if we wouldn't have pushed him, we'd have won like 816 at Worlds. I would have been like, all right, it's chill. Like, we'll probably try to do the back to back Sheffield. We'll probably go like 850, 860. that should be good enough to win. Call it, come back next year, and then go all out, and then try to win by like that 2%, 3% again.
Mm.
But now, since Matt made me pull that last deadlift, which I'm not mad at him at all for, thank you, Matt. Now I'm about to go crazy. So if y'all want somebody to blame Matt.
Oh,
Blame
100%.
Matt Gary.
I've been blaming Matt Gary for a very long time, but only on a good cause. You know.
Yeah, like I say, like I was talking to Ashton actually in the DMs like a week or two ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you for pushing me because like now, like if they wouldn't have pushed me and Matt Gary wouldn't have made me pull that last deadlift, I don't think I would have been trying to bench world record. Like now, that's my goal. My goal is to break every record at Sheffield. Like I want the squat, I want the bench, and I want the deadlift, and then I have to break the total to at least podium for winning. So I'm trying to break all four at this point. And like before Worlds, I wasn't even worried about that world record. I was like, hey, y'all can have 213 and a half. But now it's just like, man, at this point, let me just try. I'm trying to bench like 215 the next 3 blocks leading into Sheffield. Like each block can make it look better and better, maybe make the pause better and better. Yeah, I gotta blame Matt Gary, man. Blame Matt Gary.
3 records and a win. That's that money.
That's 40,000.
Smell that money from air.
Right there. That's 40 grand. You know, all I know is I'm going Sheffield not for a t-shirt or a bloody SPD media package. It's not happening. So after that block I just finished, no way, it's not happening. But anyway, so Austin, again, like, yeah, we spoke about the World Games, and I know a lot of people around the world a few people don't really give too much a toss about the World Games.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I'm 50-50 on it. I mean, I think when I talk to my wife about it, we talk about everything. I say that I think it's the positives is if I win,
When
I can
win.
like I want you win.
No, at the World Games
Yeah.
is when. Sheffield is if. Go on.
Yeah, okay. When I win World Games, like that's a win. You know, that happens every 4 years. You never know when you're going to be good enough to go again. If you're going to be able to, like, people could be like, oh, like, I'm going to go to World Games in 2020, what, the 2028, 2029, 2029?
2029, yeah.
The next one. Like, they'll be like, oh, well, I have to 2029. 2025 to 2029, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to pop up. You don't know what injury you're going to have or anything. At least I can say that I won it that one time for that 4 years. And that'll probably put me apart from anyone else, you know? But then again, it's like, what am I sacrificing to go to this meet? Like, you know, like, what am I putting into it to go to this meet?
Yeah.
You know, just to say, oh, I went and I won. Like, no, I know people in the U.S. definitely don't care about World Games. They don't even know what it is. I know people in powerlifting are like, yeah, that's really cool. That's really good. But like when it comes down to it, is it going to impact my life in a major way?
It's the answer probably is a no. But I think the World Game, to me, the way I perceive it as is one of those things like a tick box exercise, I call it. Do you know what I mean? It's not, I know, as you spoke about winning, because it all goes on a GL point and whatever, the person that posts the highest GL wins. But when, to some people, it's more about like, people like me, if I'm going up against you, I'm going to be honest, I put my hand up out there, it's going to be more about, I just want to participate in that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do it, get it done. Because again, as you said, 4 years, 8 years or 12, 16 years time, you don't know where powerlifting gonna go. You know what? Don't know where those World Games, the structure is gonna be. But at least I've done it. Do you know what I mean? It's like Sheffield. We're talking about Sheffield here. If you go to Sheffield, you got the opportunity to win. You win Sheffield. If you don't have the opportunity to win, but participate in that. Because remember, Sheffield is only 24 people every year, and that 24 people actually, it's been to Sheffield already. This is the third we're going. We don't get the different 24 people every year. No. Maybe we only got like 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 different people. This year, yes, we got the guys from USAPL. So I think on the men's side, they got me, you, Russ, Bob, Ashton as the
Wascar.
newcomer. In Waska, 6 as the newcomers. So the other 6, they were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in the women's side, it's even worse because it's
Oh
almost
yeah,
like
with the women's side, yeah. Like
you know what I mean?
yeah, all the
repetition
women
is
from
there.
USAPL already came back over. So yeah, there was no.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy. So when the opportunities like that arise and these kind of meet, you just go and do it. Do you know what I mean? As you said,
Yeah.
like, would it change anything in your life? Potentially not. It's not gonna. I mean, with the World Games, you don't win nothing. Sheffield, you win money. World Games, you don't win nothing. The World Games. Let me ask you on the World Games. Do the P and Nats actually support you guys in the World Games?
Next question.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
Let's move on. You know what I mean? But this is what I cannot comprehend of this one, right? Because one thing about the British powerlifting does is I've been having conversation. I don't know where this conversation is going to lead yet, but I can't really say much about it. But the bit I can say is because the 4 of us are qualified for the World Games, we are not going to the World Games as British powerlifting, but we're going to the World Games as the British team. It means all the sports in Britain, even the tracksuit we're gonna wear is different. It's not the usual.
Yeah.
So they will include us in all the sports to end up going together as a team. So this is what has been coming to me in my ears. So whether it's going to be confirmed or not, I don't know. In terms of like financial support or traveling, whatever, that's another thing as all the conversations are going. But to me, I applaud things like this because you qualify for the World Games. This is not just for Austin. This is for USA.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Look, the only reason I think so when it comes to powerlifting America, they're a new federation over here. So if it counts, but with that, they don't. I don't know what their financials looks like, but just being around for 3 years, I'm just gonna assume they don't have an influx of cash. But this just goes back to like nobody in the U.S. cares about the World Games. Like I don't think our government cares about the world. I don't think our national sports organization cares about the World Games. So like I just don't see it. Like if it's Great Britain, the country, right? Country, yeah.
Yeah.
Is aiding like all of the sports, then I understand why you're getting like that help to go there. But when it comes to the US, I don't think the US is gonna be like, oh, like all these sports got into the World Games, let's just push them some money so they help them go. I just don't see them doing that. Maybe individual sports, maybe, but I highly doubt it.
Because
Like if it's all of the sports.
China's gonna be expensive, boy. It's not gonna be cheap. You know, especially you don't travel single anymore.
Oh, trust me. Look, when I say we sat and talked about it, we've already calculated the tickets, and I'm like, hey, look, see that's why I said if World Games, not when. That's why I said if. Not about winning.
It is a lot.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Last couple question, Austin. Of course you've heard. I mean, I've heard King of the Lifts, Taylor Howard. Right. I'm not gonna bring this conversation to start open another kind of worm. I know.
Here we go.
Taylor's,
Here we
Taylor's
go.
com-
Look at his
Taylor's
face.
Taylor's coming in. Is coming. Is doing a meet in the next few weeks as an 83, but he said he doesn't know yet whether he's gonna stay 83 or go 74. And he spoke about this conversation I'm hearing ducking. Did you duck Taylor, man?
Okay, look, listen. I think I said this on a post. This because someone reposted it. He said whenever he was at his top, or like I know whenever he switched over. This is after he hit 830. So whenever he switched over, he was like, "How come you didn't come over?" And that was what? That was 2020. All right, so 2020.
The 838 was 2021, isn't it?
Oh, it was 2021. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So it was after that. So it had to be 2022 and 2023, right? Or
Yeah,
2022 because that was
yeah,
the year he did everything.
yeah.
Bro, I had a hernia. Like, what is he talking about ducking competition? I had a hernia in March, I think. Hernia in March. I had to take that 3 to 4 months off, 3 months off. Had to build back up. I had my first meet, didn't hit over 800. It was my first competition back. Only had I think 2 blocks underneath me. That was it. All right. At this point, I'm still not at 800. I'm still recovering. I'm not even 100% healed. I'm still like 80 to 90%. And then I'm like, all right, well, I got the invite to uh, the Virginia Pro Series at that point. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go and do that because I have the highest odds. But still not. It still hasn't even been a year since I had surgery. Still hasn't even been a year. So like, I'm gonna go. The reason I went to it was because I was in college and I need money. Oh, I didn't switch over because there was no money in going over to Pilots in America. USAPL, at least I can make money. That's some extra help while I'm in uni. That's cool. So that's the end of 2022. So 2022, I had the hernia and I was recovering from the hernia. Then we make it back and we go 2023 at this point. Still hasn't been a year. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna stay in the same fed I am because I'm still not 100% healed yet. And then we go and we get to like September and then I hit 851. But that's because I had a year to recover. And then at this point, I don't even know like what I'm capable of. So I'm just building. I hit the 825. But at that point, that's after Worlds, because that's in the summertime. And then like I couldn't have qualified. So why switch over to a Fed for no reason? That was after PA Nats. So what do you mean? Like I ducked at that point. So so boom. So we hit summertime. PA Nats has passed. Worlds is either around that time or past. So I switch over then. What's the point of switching over then? There's no other meets PA that we're going to compete against each other, right? In 2023, there's no other meets. So at that point, I hit 851, and then I start my journey over to Powerlifting America. How is that ducking? And what time period? How is that ducking?
I'm just glad that you explain it really well in terms of, because sometimes when people talk and give data or give insight, sometimes they don't realize the timeline doesn't match in terms of, oh, they don't have enough information, when they talk. But the other question would be, do you think you get enough credit from what you're doing in powerlifting or for the 74s in America alone? Because around the world, Austin, don't get me wrong, Espin can vouch. There's no a place I've been in they talk about powerlifting without talking about Austin Perkins. There's no a place.
I think in the US I was the reason I switched over mainly was because I didn't feel like I was getting that recognition across the world before, because everyone was like, oh, well, you hit it in the US, you didn't win worlds, you didn't do this, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna come over there and just do it then, because to me it's just like it doesn't matter. But in the US, I would say I get the credit from powerlifters of being people know that I'm I'm the top 74, 75, whatever. Um, Yeah, man. I don't know. Now you got me thinking about this ducking thing. Listen.
And this that look, I'm
He
gonna.
had the hernia. What the fuck can you do?
No. I'm talking about for him. He ducked
Ah.
Did he?
because he said that he was capable of hitting 800 before nationals. So at this point, it's like, okay, I hit 851, but I hit 851 once. You could have said it was a one and done. If you were above 800 at that point, why not show up in that? Even if you were still a little injured, you weren't 100%. You still said you were over 800 at that point.
He wanted to.
Because look, what did we say about competition? You take different attempts when you have competitions. So who's to say I would have taken 318 again? I probably would have taken 315, maybe like a little bit less than that. I probably maybe wouldn't have benched the same,
You have to give him the benefit of doubt. He's not getting any younger. It's part of the game, so it happens. In terms of like, I know again, we talk about this ducking thing, right? You might not like what I'm about to say now. You've never beaten Taylor Howard.
Nope, never.
Taylor is the greatest 74 that ever lived. Right?
I agree.
You gotta give him that in terms of like what he's done in the sport. He's revolutionized the weight class and the sport in general. Do you think as a lifter, even though all your accomplishment, everything you're doing, you not being able to go up against Taylor, you still feel like, even though now like you're total 850, you can total 900, but you still feel like I still did not beat him. Because the reason The reason I'm saying that, I'm a better powerlifter than you. I'll be Ross, the greatest A3 of all time.
Oh, here
You
we
have a
go
no. You will
again.
have. You
Every
have.
episode,
Of
how many
course.
times are you gonna mention this? It's
You know,
done now. Worlds was last year now.
and
No
I
one
don't.
cares
I
about
don't.
it
Hey,
anymore.
I
hey,
don't
look,
care.
listen, look, that don't even matter. What really matters is he in the Hall of Fame. That's all that matters, to be honest.
Oh fuck, not you as
Bye.
well.
I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Hey, show him your trophy. He's been showing his trophy he went to church and showed the priest the trophy. Go ahead, show him. There we are.
Oh my goodness. Did they bless it? Did he bless it?
There
Oh,
you some
bro,
holy water on it, everything.
holy water. They put a
Yeah.
candle on there. They put some oil. Look how shiny it is because they put some oil on it.
Now you know what? I'm gonna answer Perk's question. Well, your question to Perk's, right? I feel like, let's be honest, right? Taylor right now, as of now, is right the goal of the 74s. He's done what he's done, right? But let's be honest, let's be real, man. If Perks can stay healthy, no injuries, just stay completely like literally healthy, he's gonna annihilate all those records, man. If you decide to stay in the 74s, no one's catching him. Who's gonna catch him? No one's close. For the next
But you
three
know,
to 4 years, no, come on. Like,
the thing is right. The thing is what I'm saying, right? There is records and legacy. There's two different
Yeah.
things here.
oh,
Do you know what I
100%.
mean?
But
Do you know what I
Perks is
mean?
gonna win the worlds like
You
for
know
the
what I mean?
next 3-4 years
So
if he wants.
he can get the record, but what I'm saying, like the legacy that Taylor has in the 74s is hard to beat. But if Austin go up against Taylor and beat Taylor, that's a different
Yeah, I
ball
think
game.
so. So I will say that it does still bother me. Like people tell me, like it doesn't matter. Like you've hit above his, or I've hit above his record once, but the 838, I honestly, I kind of don't count it. Like I don't count my 851 because it's like it was USAPO, and everyone says that USAPO doesn't count. And I was like, if that's what you want to go off of, we go off of meets that were in the IPF. I'm out toting them now at this point. So I'll give you that. I'll give like that's my rebuttal to that. But when it comes down to it, though, Joe is still trying to talk me out of going to PA Nats if he goes 74, because now he's talking about he doesn't know if he's going to go 70, if Taylor's going to go 74 or 83. But if he does go 74, Joe is going to have a hard time of talking me out of going to PA Nats, even after Sheffield. Doesn't matter what I put up at Sheffield. I could put up 900, I could put up 950. It doesn't matter. I still, if he goes 74, I want to show up and compete against him because I need to prove that I can beat him. And people can say that he's older and he's not the same. I don't care. I've lost twice. Whenever he beat me, I was younger. So I mean, if you want to use that, that's like I don't think I was up to the first time at least. The first time 100% because I don't even think he went over 800. The first time it was like 790 or something. Before that he still beat me at that one, and then the next one he beat me at two. That's fine. I at least want one. I at least want one win. And you can not call me the best because I didn't beat him at his prime. If you want to, I just want the rematch. That's all I want.
I think these thing, right? From my understanding, where I'm coming from is like regardless where Taylor goes, regardless of what level Taylor Howard is now, it's like Sega. If Sega turn up in the arena today, go up against Wisecar, which Wisecar gonna eat him in life, but still, people want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So you and Taylor, because of again, as I said, because of what Taylor's done, that's what people want to see. What do you think? People, whatever Russ went through in Lithuania, is because of what Russ has done, and people want to see how can somebody else like me go up against a person like that that's done so much for the weight class, that's done so much for powerlifting. Do you know what I mean? And now, like, we're going to Sheffield, of course, everyone knows, thinking Russ going to win because of, again, because of the shadow that he's carrying from his past. That's what I was talking about when I was saying to you, like, how do you feel about being able to go up against Russ? It's like Ray William. We all know if Ray William goes against Jesus, Jesus is much stronger. Do you know what I mean? But still, people want to see that.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So this is where I'm saying, like, I just wanted to get your opinion in terms of that as well. But in terms of, like, when you look at powerlifting across the board as well, is there any match that you want to see happen? Forget about the 74, just across the board.
I wish we could see like all the 82s. I mean, all the 82s, all the 83s, and all the 93s compete against each other. Like not like against each other, but like if we could get NIU, Russ, Joe Borenstein, which you can't get all four because you can only take one person. But if we could get all four of those people, and then get Keiko, Gavin, Emil, Gustav, and Petrie, like that's something I want to see. I just want to see all the, like if can we get like
All stars,
As
an all star
like an
stuff.
all-star meet, like
That would
somebody
be
just do
so
that.
sick. That would be
as
sick.
Austin, you are close to Pete Spence than I am. Look, he's like what 7, 8 hours away from me. You're close to him than I am. Get those conversations going. You know what I mean? Can they have like an annual all-star meeting? I would love to see that because I look in America, the 83s in America. You know that rally meet they had
Mhm.
they had they had
Oh,
Delaney
Delaney too.
Joe.
Delaney too. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I forgot Delaney. Don't be mad at me, Delaney. Don't be mad at me. I'm
No,
sorry. Yeah, bring Delaney too. Bring Delaney too.
I think you know he's as I said he's one of the most underrated powerlifters
Yeah.
that ever lived. Do you know what I mean? So they get Delaney, they go Russ, they have go Angelo, you know, they have go Chris, myself, you know, and Ade put us in one platform. Let's go out against it. That will bring view. People will pay for that shit. Do you know what I mean? And you 74, they don't need that much, but there's only you. So you can watch.
Like, hey, bring me in. And let me be in the 83 group too.
Oh
Forget
yeah,
about
come
it.
in, come in. Just make sure you eat a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? That would be exciting. So Perks, what's the plan for Sheffield? Are you coming at Sheffield? Are you gonna stay around in London, or is just gonna do what the Americans do? You compare, you go back to your beautiful America because it's such an amazing country.
Well, you can't blame me. My wife has school, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Facts.
So it just depends on how much time she can get off for school.
Mm.
I think. Well, never mind. I don't know. I was about to say maybe she only has like one day a week, but I don't know how many days she has. So, because it starts in the springtime. Not we're in the fall right now, so we just don't know. But I want to say I know we all have to be there like by a certain day. I think we're gonna get there on that day. I want to try and stay a little bit after because I'm like I don't know. We do have to stay like a little bit after too. Like we can't leave like the next day.
Yeah, I was watching the itinerary. Like we can't just leave the next day.
Yeah.
It's
So I
almost,
mean,
it's almost they're telling us you lift and you're not going anywhere.
yeah, my family's staying for a week over there
Oh no!
too.
Oh nice.
So I want to spend like at least 2 days. So like
Because you
probably,
never
so if it's a week, I'm fine with a
have you
week.
been to London?
Nope.
Because you got to spend some time in London, Austin. You can't just
Yeah.
come to Sheffield and leave. You
Yeah,
got to spend some time in London.
my stepdad, my mom's husband is actually from Sheffield. So
Oh,
he's
okay.
bringing his family.
Oh,
Because his
nice.
family lives in Sheffield. His family is going to come to the competition. They got him tickets and everything. So they're
Oh,
going to come.
shit.
My mom and her husband are going to come. My dad and my stepmom are going to be there. So I'll have like a good little
So
group there. So
basically, you literally, apart from me, you literally gonna be a homegrown. You feel like
yeah,
home.
basically, yeah. And we
Literally.
got pretty close. Me and I bought my dad, my stepmom, and Sid's seat. No, my mom, her husband, and Sid's seats already before. Like when it was 50%. I think they're like 4 rows back, like from the
Jesus
stage.
Christ.
Because I mean, everything was full in the
Yeah.
front, 50%. There
Oh
was no
yeah.
so we got the last couple seats that were like it's on the left side, 4 rows back, and so that's the closest they got. So
Oh, that's exciting, man. That would be exciting. I can't wait for that. Again, I think for me is the meet before the meet and after the meet. That's when the excitement is. When you're lifting, because all of us are going to be in the zone, right? We want to eat each other on that platform. But
yeah,
after that last deadlift goes down, it's just like the excitement happened. You know, I think we've been saying this to Pete Spence. Sheffield should be like a sports event, a weekend. Do you know what I mean? You go there for 2, 3 days. You are Sheffield, not just you go there after what start at 3 o'clock on a Saturday and at 8 p.m. It's like nothing ever happened. Yeah, I just hate
I
that.
mean, apparently listening to the recap video from Joey and Jesus, apparently, like, because we do like, I think we're gonna do like signings for the VIP people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're not going home till like
No,
midnight,
I
one
know.
o'clock.
Yeah, I know, I know. I mean, do we actually care? You're gonna be having you be full of 110, and I will be full of a bomb in me. So it should be.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely gonna take a scoop of pre before deadlift. So I'll be up and ready, bro. Like I
So,
didn't sleep after I hit 851. I didn't sleep the whole night. Not one lick.
wow, Jesus, because I think the only comp that I never slept. I know people say when I beat Ross, I didn't sleep. No, I
Is
actually
it
slept.
is it when you
I
bombed
slept.
out?
Yeah,
That one.
yeah, yeah. When I bombed out, yeah, never
Sorry, I
slept.
had to, man.
I regretted all the pre-workout I took that day. I don't know why. I took a pre-workout to bomb out under my bench press.
We've been trying our best to find footage of that meet, but we can't find it anywhere.
I know.
Anywhere.
I
It's
know.
nowhere.
I literally paid for that footage to be delayed. I paid
And
for
then
that to be delayed.
wiped it from the
That
internet.
shit got
Oh my
I
wiped
god.
so quick.
I literally did. Yeah, because Austin, just for your information, my first nationals, I went there. I had a factor back injured. I shouldn't have gone there, but because Owen was lifting, as you said, when Taylor lifts and not you just gonna go. Owen was lifting. I was
Yeah.
like, nah, Owen's lifting, man. I've got to share the platform with him. Fuck that shit. Went there, squatted. When we came to bench, my handler at that time, my I think my PB bench was 152. The handler, for some reason, he decided to open with 152, and I died over it. When I said I died over it, you're not even like, oh, you press the bar come out of your chest. No, 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 no. Press
Stapled.
the bar is stuck.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. I've had dreams about that happening at Sheffield, bro. Oh my god, bro. I'm like, just imagine. Oh my god, it would be over with, bro. I'd be like, I wouldn't come back out for deadlifts. I'd be like, I'm done.
you know,
I'm done.
Sometime I feel, but when I think about Sheffield, I think like I think I'm just gonna take like 10 kilo below my predicted attempt just to make it, just to make it.
Bro, they got me worried, bro. I stay up at night thinking about it. I'm like, oh,
But we all do. We all do. I think like anyone that's done it before, bless them, they have the experience. And people like us that go in there now. The funny thing is like again, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that we're not strong. We have the
mhm.
I mean, for crying out sake, we are world record holders.
Yeah.
But we still go on that platform thinking, oh fucking hell, what about if I can't get a squat?
Look, okay, look, I have a question about you for the squat real quick. Look, I hope you guys aren't gotta go anywhere real quick. But
Go, go, go.
so I don't understand. I thought about this today, literally. I was like, it makes no sense to me how all the French squatters, how they squat so close and they hit depth, but Gavin squats get called for depth. I just don't see how, like, I feel like all of their squats are borderline, but they never get called for depth. But then Gavin hits like, it even looks like it a little bit, and they're like, nah.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Number one, people hate this, but number one is who you know in IPF.
You told me that. You told me that we were talking to each other.
I told you. Number one is who you know. And then number two, as lifters, we need to be careful what we post on social media.
Mhm.
Those people on that platform with us, they know who we are. They've seen what we do. They've heard what we say. If you're thinking you slag a referee or you go and talk about referee like smack and like everything, on that platform, those people are referees. They're human beings. Benefit of doubt, that 50-50 people talk about, or 50-50 benefit that go to the lifter. No, that ref will be like, nah, fuck you, shit. You're red. And in IPF, you and I know, if you get one red, you're fucked. You know
It's
what I
over.
mean?
And look, I saw that red on Russ's squat, and I was like, that's it. Didn't even have to look twice. I was like, that's it.
Jurins,
Because,
living proof.
oh yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Living
He,
proof.
he, he suffered from it, because what I'm saying, like, what we say, how we do things matters. Even like Austin, a ref told me in an international, I'm not going to say the name, I'm not going to say who, where, what international, told me, do you guys think we don't watch you guys on social media in terms of like your lifting standard? If you're lifting not to standards in your social media, these people know it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a ref, right? This ref, again, I can't say nation. Someone stepped on the platform to squat. I can see the guy's finger was already on the red, even before the person got a squat come out. You know,
So
and
the
the
moral of
funny
the
thing,
story, Perks, is just be nice to the refs. Don't slag them off on socials. Bring them some snacks on the meet on comp day.
and hold the door for them when they're in front of you
Yep.
opening the door.
Yep.
That thing has saved my life 3 times on the platform. So yeah,
I'm speaking to every ref. I'm like, how are you doing?
yo,
Good.
man,
Good.
you see me in Lithuania. Every red tie or blue tie was seen, even though they don't speak English. I was just like, I mean, I know we're laughing. It could be a joke, but this is a real. These things happened. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to Gavin, right? Again, because Gavin is historically people didn't know Gavin in terms of like he always get those red. He always get it red. He become almost like a problem when it's time is lifting. They already know we're not gonna give him the benefit of like that. You know, but another thing as well, Gavin is a young man that has got a lot of intensity and is a showman. How many people from East European country like showmen?
That's true.
Zero. Do you know what I mean? Some people it's almost like thinking, man, it's only lifting weight. Why don't you just lift it, calm it? But if that Gavin or yourself or myself do things like that in America, people will love it. Because that's why they love intensity. But when you do things like that in the European soil, these people in the European soil, they don't have that mentality. They just think like, this Austin is a twat. Look at the man today. Look at the way he jumped. What about if he broke his leg? I'm gonna give him a red so he can stop doing shit like that. You know what I mean? Things like
No,
that
yeah,
happen, mate.
all I know is after I get my last squat, I'm not gonna be celebrating on that stage for 3 hours. Maybe my last deadlift, I'll celebrate for like, about 30 seconds, But no, he was out there. The last deadlift, bro, he was out there for a while. I mean, his last squat, he was out there for a while at Sheffield. I was like, bro, they got someone of them got a squat. You know that, right? I know they bad.
One of my bench at World, I think it was my first or second, I got red. But when I saw that referee after I asked, I said, "What did I get red?" The referee literally told me, "It was like, that was a mistake, mate. Luckily you got it." Because they told me it was my bum. I was like, "Where is my bum? Come on." It was like, "Oh, it was a mistake. Luckily you got it." And things like that happen. And do you blame the referees? I don't. They've been sitting there for the whole day. They're tired. Shit like that happens. So yeah. But hopefully it's not gonna happen to me. Probably happen to you at Sheffield. That's good. Advantage to me.
Hey, no, look. You saw my 214. My butt sat on the bench on that one. I was like,
I know. What's scaring me? What's scaring me about you is not your 214. Is your squat. How deep you're going. You've earned that extra inch. That's what's scary about it. Because when you do the P and nuts, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I watch your P and nuts at that 318, I said if he hit that 318 like that and the IPF platform, I'm gonna be celebrating. He's not getting it. Do you know what I mean?
nah.
This is why when Russ goes 330 overturning PA, I was like, hallelujah, thank you, Lord. Let him believe that's depth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I was like,
but even him now, when you look at him squatting, it's almost like, oh my god, he's getting that depth now. For fuck's sake. You know what I mean? But
you might not have to worry about it because Joey said he might not keep him in flats anyway. I mean in heels. He said he might switch back to flats. So you never know.
Joey need to stop that. He need to keep him in heels. He need to keep him in heels because his squat is tremendous with those heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he doesn't keep him in heels, I hope he doesn't. I hope he does. But if he doesn't, that's Sheffield bye-bye. No jokes. Literally no jokes.
Bro gotta keep the heels on. He looking good with the heels on.
He looks really good. He looks really good in the heels, and I love it. He has even pushed me to get that extra to put one more rep every time I'm squatting. I'm adding another rep. If it's too easy, I'm gonna add another set. I've done that last block, so yeah, it's working.
Does Christian know, or you've been keeping that one quiet?
Christian doesn't know.
Yeah,
I'm
he
keeping
doesn't
that one
know.
quiet. You know what I mean? It's just like when you do, because I'm doing high bar now. If you say like 4 set of 6 or 4 set of 8 of high bar, I would do it so easily. I would be sitting there, I was like, no, let me just add another one. It's fine. Be alright.
Hey, look, more money for me. More money for me. If it mess them
That's
up,
it.
more money for me.
Shell, probably you're listening to where you are. Oh, my Lord, my Savior, Shell, please come. Austin, thank you very much, mate. It's always a pleasure when we talk to you. And last one, if you want to shout out to your sponsors, because I know you got so many sponsors, and I wish I was you, or Espin wish it was half of you. But yeah,
Of
go on,
course.
mate.
All right, so shout out my wife. First off, wouldn't be able to get here without her. Wouldn't be a world champ without her. Got to shout out Avances. Avance has been carrying lately, bro. We love them. If you need a 3 lift shoe, that should be your go-to shoe. Um, I think their shoes are amazing. I know Jurins thinks their shoes are amazing. Um, shout out 110. If you need some pre-workout, strawberries and cream, Perk flavored, it's the best flavor out there. And then the people who about to pay us in January, shout out SBD. I got to get that. I need that money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Rascal Apparel, bro. Check out this shirt.
Oh,
Fear is
nice.
the PR killer. Yes,
Ooh.
sir. Tough,
Appreciate
tough.
it.
So basically,
But
what
yeah.
Austin trying to say there, like SBD second hand to what he's wearing. So SBD, you heard
Oh
that.
my. I said SBD. I said SBD before this. I said SBD before this. Like I just when I get home, I like to wear a loose fitted shirt. And,
Mate, it'll be exciting, mate. I can't wait to see you in Sheffield, mate. I know you're gonna be doing some stupid shit. You know what I mean? We're expecting greatness, and keep on posting your top lift, because your top lift, whether people like or no, those people that always lie, they don't consume powerlifting content, they're full of shit. Everyone are watching what you're doing, and if everyone can see it, and it is inspiring all of us. You know what I mean?
I
And
hope
myself
so.
included. Do you know what I mean?
That's the
Myself
goal, man.
included. So thank you, mate. I appreciate you, and good luck for the rest of the training, mate. Because you're gonna need
You
that
too.
lag, boy. You will need
Oh,
that lag
trust
on
me.
that back.
I know it. I know it. Look, everything's against me right now, but we're gonna just keep trying, man. Whatever we can put up, we just gonna put it up. Ain't nothing
I
to
mean,
it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
in the UK, will be fine. One of the things that Americans always say, why the IPF doesn't bring meat to America? Yes, you know why? Because I don't want to get shot. On that note, speak to you later, guys.
Jesus Christ.